Hello world, I'm going to trust that this is going live. Um, Welcome to Drawing Flags in Turtle, but really how to decompose problem and the beauty of abstraction. It is a lovely sunny Sunday afternoon. I am wearing my Where is Waldo Où est Charlie shirt. Got that for my birthday in October, and it's like the first day I'm able to wear it. And because it's nice and sunny, what better weather, uh, better opportunity to just kind of draw the lines and spend the afternoon coding in the shade. So let me fade over to Trinket. You can just go to, if you want to follow along, you can go to trinket.io. It's pretty good to, well, I mean, many new and better things have gone in there, but pretty good to kind of get many bits of code up really quickly. So yeah, I don't, it would start here and home. I've got an account, I don't know what it looks like when you signed out, but kind of like here. In Python, we want a Python one. The Python 3 will not have Turtle. It's more geared to a spy game, so a Python trinket. Um, and then let's call it Turtle Flags. No, not here. Turtle Flags. Question mark? Okay, so let's import turtle and make a turtle. Let me zoom. Oh, sorry, hold on. No, I'm in the right view. Cool. Let me just. How do I zoom in on this? Yeah. Well, let's zoom on the code and we can have like we can look at it later on. So we make a turtle, put it in the variable t turtle.turtle. Unlike many other IDs, doesn't look like that's kind of tab auto completion. So I'm going to need to be typing things by hand. And if I tell t to go forward by 100 and run this, I might need to zoom out. I don't know what's gonna. Okay, what's happening here? Yeah, 250 is too much. Okay, I think there's going to be a lot of kind of zooming in and out. Uh, that's the turtle, so it's kind of moves forward. Right, we have a turtle. Now, drawing flag is really about filling in shapes. So to fill shapes, let's just do t.penup. It's all one word, I think. I have the turtle reference here with a little bit of history. It dates back from 1967. Papert and et al. He's a big name in computer science education. He had some very utopian visions about what children and computers could do when they combine. I want pen up, pen, little robot with a pen. By the way, they called him Turtle when they went to draw on the floor, so it really should be Turtoise. It's in one word, right? Most of the stuff is all one word, except when it's not, right? Begin underscore fill. We'll get to that in a minute. Oh, here's one I was trying to make earlier, and this is kind of deliberately a bad one. Let's see where that goes. Yeah, that's the blue. Um, but let's kind of do that from the start. Uh, right. So pen up, we're going to set t, and it's begin. This one is begin underscore fill. We're going to wrap our shape in a begin underscore fill and end underscore fill. And then anything we drew there, even if we don't return to the place where we started, it will kind of automatically complete the shape and fill it with a fill color. Uh, Fill, and that's one word with the American spelling. And this will take either text color like blue, or it will take kind of hexadecimal HTML style code. So if I go forward and then turn right by 90 and then repeat those two lines another 3 times, oh, I'm using control, so I'm switching between Mac and Windows, so just the shortcuts are in a slightly different place, and run it with this shortcut. Okay, so it's made a blue square. Very good. Now, this is where we can immediately start seeing the benefit of organizing code and abstraction. So there's a kind of recommended format just for the sake of being methodical, where you would put the imports at the top. Then you would put any sub-programs. This is the kind of recommended good practice, in particular with Craig and Dave's excellent time to code, uh, and also, yeah, no, it's not. Yeah, here it is. As well as Mission Codable. Anyway, like organizing the code by having the subprograms which we're going to do in a minute, and then the main program. So all I've done at the moment is everything in the main program. We'll see why it's not advisable ultimately. So what I have here, I put the pen up, I begin to fill with that color, and I do this kind of one thing 4 times. Definitely abstraction. I mean, you see something that repeats, you try and make a kind of a general case. So I'm going to say for I in range 4, colon, and just put those 2 lines. And if I select and press tab, it's going to indent them, making it part of that loop. Good stream health. Was one viewer? Hello, viewer. A keyframe of 4. No, I'm not getting into the tech of it. I hope it's working. It's fine. Let's run it again. So it does the same thing, but immediately, immediately, I keep using this adverb quite incorrectly, but I feel it's immediately obvious, right? It's pretty clear that it's nicer and neater to say we're going to repeat those 2 lines 4 times and just copy and paste them. This is a form of abstraction where we recognize something that repeats. Let's use a iteration repetition structure. Now, what if I were to say, because all of this just together will draw a square. They'll draw a blue square of 100. So why not make that a def draw square? Draw a blue square. Or draw a square. So same deal. I'm kind of taking the thing, taking the lines I want to put it in my subprogram, put it here. That becomes a nice little self-contained subprogram that I can cut, put it in my subprogram section, and then all I've got in my main program is to just, oops, not in capital, to draw underscore square and the brackets. So I never forget the brackets to call the function, because if you forget those, and I've seen that a couple of times, and at all ages and age groups and levels, right? Because in Python, this will not break, because for reasons that are well beyond the level of this tutorial, instead of throwing an error, this will give you completely unexpected behavior, and you won't understand why you have this error. So this will do nothing if you forget the brackets, but it's just don't forget the brackets, because forgetting brackets will not throw an actual error, but it will have like unexpected behavior. So this still does the exact same thing, right? But in a much more succinct fashion. So in particular, if I wanted to make several of those, and I could say, okay, we're going to turn left from here, 90 degree, and then go forward by, so it's 100 big, right? So let's go forward by 50, and draw a square again. No, actually, tell you what, let's then go to the left by 15, and then draw a square again, which I can't type. I have chosen an ID that doesn't have auto-completion, although that's nice because it doesn't kind of interrupt me. Sorry, I need to make that bigger for the viewers. Right, that's my code. I'm going to draw the square, then turn to the left. Oh, this has scaled it down. That's helpful. Right, and I've got the second blue square, uses the same code, but because I started in a different position and with a different heading, pointing in a different direction, I now have, hello cat, I now have a cat on my lap, always very good. Hey, this is the cat. I can have a second blue square. Pretty cool. But for flags, we're going to want to be a bit more generic than squares, we're going to run rectangles. But let's say I want to generalize my blue square. I'm going to say col for color, and side, length, size, whatever, right? And here, instead of blue, I'm going to pass the parameter or argument col, and here side, take in here and paste it in. Oops, I'm using the wrong shortcut again. And paste it in here. Doesn't really do anything, but then what I'm going to do here is let's make that a white square of size 50, and in here, some deal, I'm going to want to have a red square of size 75. Run it. I now have a white square first, and then a tilted red square of different sizes. We see how it's powerful to abstract away and decompose, like the drawing of the square is always the same. The only thing that varies is whatever color inside, and so we abstract those away so that we make an even more general square function, procedure, subprogram. This is technically a procedure because it touches the scope and doesn't return anything. All right, let's make this even better. Let's, instead of doing a square, because it's going to be useful for flags, I'm going to say draw rectangles. So terminology-wide, I've gone back and forth, right? Because a rectangle is a length and a width, right? But then this assumes that this first one will be bigger and this first one will be smaller, whereas our code can work either way. So my next step was to say, okay, so let's call it width first, because it's x to y, right? Kind of, sorry, x, so left to right, and then height. This would indicate how it's going to look on the canvas. So from the canvas perspective, you can have something that a very narrow width but a tall height. The problem with this, right, is that meaningful variable names, that's kind of important. Like writing code that runs is like, that's the start, right? You can tie your shoelaces and put one step in front of another. Good one. Doesn't mean you can, kind of walk the path. I'm lost in that analogy. So meaningful variable names. Width and height, a bit more meaningful, but the problem is this assumes that that whatever passes as a fast parameter will always kind of be drawn horizontally, and so if I'll tilt it. So I'm going to call it, this is niche, but I like it, along, because there's the distance the turtle is going to travel along its original orientation, and then the next one is across, which is the dimension that's outside of it. Now this time, I'm only going to repeat 2 times. First, forward by along, and then t.forward by across, and t right 90. So instead of doing the same thing 4 times, I'm doing 2 things slightly different because you're now using different dimensions twice. Let's test it. I'm going to, so this has now become draw rectangle. It highlights it in yellow. That's the one thing it does. It doesn't kind of do auto replacement. Select square and type rectangle to rectangle. 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 Okay, and this one, let's say, let's have it in red first. And I'm going to want to one that's say 100 along the turtle, but 200 across. And then I'm going simply to go forward. I think I can already do the thing by 100. And then do that again with a white. Tell you what. Sorry, blue. The more astute viewer that are familiar with my origin story will have figured out where I am going with this. Boom. Oh yeah, of course. The first thing I'm going to do as well. What? Oh, rouge. I've actually typed rouge. That's well. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is do a turtle. This is not a T, it's a turtle.speed, and then make that 0, which is like fastest it can go, which in theory disables animation. In practice, just makes it as fast as possible. Don't know. I don't understand the zoom logic of this render. It's not on the red. Is it because it's run out of space? Okay, maybe it's run out of space. What if I make that 50? Do I have? No, I don't. 100. Sorry, zoom back up. So in terms of drawing flags, right? If I've got a general rectangle procedure that will take colors and dimensions, I can really relatively easily do. What is wrong with this thing? This is rather humiliating. Okay, let's do it again. It was the blue one. Let's go forward and do. It fails to do the right rectangle. Oh, where do I end with this? Okay, I think that, well, is it this? Oh, yes, okay. Control slash or command slash, if you're on the Mac, will comment lines out, and command return will run the program. Okay, single, I'm coming back at the corner where I started. Then uncomment this and try and draw the white. Huh. 1, forward along, 90, forward across, right 90, then does it again. And it's going to come here by right 90. I don't understand why I do. Oh, sorry, it's a forward of 50. Because, sorry, now I've changed the size of my rectangle, but not the forwards. That's why I've got this space. That's just confused now. That makes more sense. And now, okay, here's my tricolor. Now, of course, you could make Belgium as well. That is black, red, and yellow, or gold. I'm not sure in which order, but that's kind of your thing. So now let's kind of abstract away further, because I can say this is draw tricolor. No, no argument, or should there be? No argument. In both senses, like there are, my functions takes no parameters. Copy that, or indeed cut it, and put it over here. And which means that now my main program is, don't even T, just draw tricolor. Run it. Even in speed 0, it's too slow for my test. Oh, I don't really understand the zoom logics and zoom levels. Anyway, this is high. We can also do there's like a T dot hide probably. Just kind of at the end to make it look neat. So that's pretty good. I now have a single procedure that will draw a flag, a French flag, but it will always draw it under those dimensions. So what if I was more interested in the ratios? So let's say I'm not going to define this is going to be, let's say 5 times size. Just call it S, right? And this is 10 times S, multiply. And I'm going to take a size argument here. The cat is nipping at my arm. It's adorable, but very distracting. And I'm going to be lazy and select all of this, copy it, and paste it across those. I'm going to have a problem here because I need a size here. So if I want to do a size of 10, that would kind of render in the same thing. But then I can also have next to it just another draw tricolor, but this time with like, say, 5. How about that? Run this. So some things you want to hard code. You want some things that are not variable in the procedure, that cannot be changed, that the procedure will always do in the same way. So the colors of the French flag are always the same. Oh, yeah, I missed this because when I make it the smaller one, it still goes forward by 50. So in here again, I need to do a 5. Let me just tidy this up a bit. 5 times S. No, this was actually correct. So it might need to only go forward by 5 times the size. There's an exclamation mark that's not happy here. I don't really understand why. But what with the amount of zoom in the window, I just like, teacher of code. That's my job, actually, yeah. So, cool. So in particular, if you wanted to go, okay, so it says the 14th of July, POV, the turtle on the 14th of July. Let's do something fun. This is always going to stay in, right? So like setup, right? And then we're going to have some fun. Ooh. Turtle hide on main.py. No worries. Let's have a look at the turtle reference. Tortoise. Hide turtle, thank you. It's just turtle hide turtle. Or HT. Okay, So it's turtle. No, now that I'm kind of, I might I'm going to move this here and put it in the setup. I might need to comment to that because there's some point where like kind of the orientation of the turtle, I want to kind of keep track of that. So I may want to see the arrow, but otherwise we're good. What if I want to make something? Um, Now you might know for I in range 6, right? But because I only want the thing to repeat 6 times, I don't, I don't really need the variable, and the convention in Python is to put an underscore for a variable you want to use with for I in range 6, doesn't matter. Let's draw a tricolor of size 10 and then turn left by 60 degree, right? Like a sixth of the circle. Uh, and then maybe do that again, but this time with, oops, just did that one. This time with only a tricolor of a size 5. Because, I mean, during the coronation, people went like Union flag or Union Jack crazy, and I think it's only fair. Sorry, I should have. The speed is going to be a problem. Oh, yeah, because that's where it finishes. So there's a interesting. I hadn't considered this. So we already kind of beyond the boundaries of the canvas. There's like turtle screen commands we could be doing. I'm still not happy about the general speed. I wish this was kind of much quicker, but yeah, I was kind of hoping they would overlap. But this doesn't return the turtle, the tricolor, or this function, or my general draw kind of three stripes flag doesn't return the turtle where it started. This is important and annoying because we're going to be using goto, but you kind of want to keep track of the turtle. And then, yes, okay, so then we're going to have a smaller circle of size 5 ones. Right, now I have, what time is it? It's 20 past. We've kind of done some basic free stripe program. We've decomposed so that I've kind of moved on from like drawing a square to drawing a rectangle to drawing a free stripe flag, although this could be, it's not super nice because it doesn't return the turtle in the right place, etc. So one thing you could do is have something that's like, no, let's not do that. Let's not do that. I'm going to jump straight into the Union flag design proportions because there are rules to this. Yeah, no, not just the proportion, the specification. That's good from the Flag Institute. One of the best, widely acknowledged as best episode of 99% Invisible. 99% Invisible, also widely acknowledged as being one of the best podcasts, is about flag and flag design and do's and don'ts. And clearly, the Union Jack, I gotta admit, I mean, in spite of the unsavory association it may have acquired in recent years, it's a banger design-wise, right? You can't argue with that. But actually, we can do this one with literally just draw a rectangle because we've got kind of a long, we've got a cross. The fiddly bit is doing the diagonal because the proportion in here is expressed. Actually, it's easier to do in turtle than in P5 because you just turn the turtle along and then you're still using the same kind of proportions as this. There was the little thing where you see it broken down. Yeah, here we go. That's what I want. This is what I'm after. Right. Is that the largest you've got, Flag Institute? There's a Union Flag Bill. Ooh. Yes, okay, so this is very nombrilist, navel gazing. So the crosses, we're going to start, we need a blue rectangle at the back, and then I'm going to do the side cross. So the side cross actually, it's not continuous, right, because it changes color over there, and those are the proportions. It's like 1, and then a 2, and then a 3 of whatever kind of those ratios are, right? So this is what we multiply by size. Oh, this is going to be... This is gonna be wow. Okay, yeah, no, I'm good. I can do this. We get what, like half an hour, more than half an hour. We get plenty of time. Let us go. Yeah, absolutely crazy. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to start doing things in here and then start abstracting them away. So decompose. There's the blue background. Because we want to do things back to front. Sounds as in, the background first, and then because we paint things on top of each other, the foreground last. So then we want to go the diagonals, and the diagonals in terms of what's larger and what's smaller. So it wants some white. Uh, we want the white diagonals, no problem with that. Then we want the red diagonals. There's actually four of them, not just two. And then we want the white center cross, and then the red center cross. That's good. We've got this. So that's the basic decomp of okay. Union flag, blue background. Yes, cat. Okay, I'm moving my arm so you want to hunt. Blue background. I just forgot what I said. White diagonals. Red diagonals. Diagonals. White cross. Cross. Red cross. Okay. Gonna put it. You know what? I'm gonna. I just press for time, but like I want to. Let's do this right. Okay. At the moment, I'm not going to take any parameters. No, I'm going to take a size like I did for the tricolor, but I'm going to assume, right, you just start along and so on. First, the blue background, no def here. Let me just indent all of this by one so I know I'm in the middle of my function. The stream is still live. Oh, we had a brief viewer. That's for 35 seconds. Very exciting. Blue background. Let's go. Rectangle. Okay. Is that the color specification? Oh, hello. RGB. Yes, excellent. 36125. RGB color picker. Okay, so the white is full white, obviously, right? There's none of the kind of negative, whatever you call it, subtractive synthesis, like ink colors. There's all of the light colors. That's fair. It's royal blue. Hello, 036125. Oh, it's kind of like darkly and posh. So this guy, 0 or gal. What did I say? 20. How much green is there in the union? 36. They're more blue than green. Obviously. 1, 2, 1, 2, 5. Yeah, that's royal. That's royal AF. But what we want is the hex code. Cool. That's the blue. Let's close this one. Not needing it. Leave. Leave means leave. Because I'm trying Union Jackson. Leave. Very good. So that's the color for the royal blue, and the it's going to be. Well, so if S is the size, then it's 50 times S along and 30 times S across. Perfect. Okay, this is right here. Okay, let's zoom in for the viewers and just kind of, you know what, I'm gonna, with regret, right? But we've moved to another country now, so that's fine. I the turtle, and I'm gonna just try my draw union. And I can't make that 10, that's already going to be too big, so 5. Union F, just called like draw UF, draw UK. Just call it UK, but whatever. Okay, yeah. We're doing a squid scratch. Okay, so that's a blue background for the flag. Everyone's very happy. Now the diagonals, essentially I want to start drawing the diagonal in the right place. Zoom in. In that the diagonal is like 6 wide in total, and it's like 3 on each side. So I could do it in twos essentially. And I'm looking for top left corners of my. No, I've got this. That's not too bad. Top left corner of the rectangle, right? So I can do like freeze and freeze, or I can go 45. Side step. Ooh. Okay, the problem is I get no idea of the. Yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to need to mask the side because my diagonals are going to overspill. So I'm going to need to add some like kind of like black frame. Yeah. Uh, yeah, fine. Not here. Sorry. I am streaming the right finger, right? Yeah. um, okay. Frame. So because this is going to return the turtle in the top left corner of the flag, pointing east, right? We're going to need two. T to the right, unsurprisingly, by 45. Uh, and then I simply draw another rectangle. This is going to be a white one. And it's so in terms of length and width, I know that uh, if I'm here, I'm going to want 3 times so something length and 3 times s. So it's going to be 1/2 diagonal to start with. I'll just extend it in a minute, and then okay. So let's say, well, let's just put down between them. This is going to be too short, but let's try it, right? Uh, yes, 'cause it's not 45 degrees. Oh, sorry, actually that's in the flag spec. What am I doing at? It's 30.96. So if it's the angle between this and here, it's also the angle between that line and here, meaning that we're good. So 30.96. Okay. Let's see if test it. I wish there was is there like a better, like a top to bottom view or oh, mm, that doesn't feel right. 3096, right? So they just put in full screen for nothing. So just escape. Yeah. I mean, of course, it's going to start by, well, we start by all of the kind of crosses of Saint. So it's going to be St. Andrew first, like Scotland, and then they combine famously, they combine the individual nations' flags, yada yada. 1396. Mm, that should end up in that corner. Does it end up in that corner? What did I mess up here? 50, 30. No. And I'm starting, turtle starting there, and it should hit. Maybe it's too short. I mean, the line will be too short. Let's make that longer for. Ah, we're already hitting the edge. That's the problem. Okay, so I'm gonna need to go to because 0, 0, the turtle starts in the middle. So let's say I'm gonna want to be top left, right? So I don't know how much I've got to play with. I think by the looks of it, that's like maybe only have 300 on each side. No, that's 500. Yeah, so 500 on each side is kind of like already a bit tight. So I'm gonna go to minus 450, minus 450. Just trust me on this one, and hopefully, whoa. So what did I say? Minus 450, 450. What happened to pen up, man? And from that corner, it should start drawing. It should start drawing because it's preserved the heading. Fine. Oh, this is turning into an absolute nightmare. Minus 200 to yes, minus 200, 200. Okay, and then it does it from that corner. So I just don't have a good understanding of. Yeah, that's more like it. I mean, I can't see the canvas just correctly. I don't understand why it's so tight. Mm. I mean, I think they should support turtle screen and kind of we can define our area, but I guess we're going to have to start going a little bit easier on the size. Like maybe just let's start with 1, right? Because that way that well, that's not too small. Yeah, that shouldn't be 300. That should be at most that should be 30 times S. Let's make that closer to the center. Just I keep getting kind of bogged down in stuff that got nothing to do with the flag. Okay, now that's too short. Fair enough. Well, mind you, that's kind of I'm not. I can live with that because we can do 4 of those. Uh, because 30 is that's the 30 is the height of the flag, right? So if I go by, that's kind of not part of the spec because it's implicitly diagonal, but well, Pythagoras, right? So calculator, could you please give me the square root of 3 squared plus 5? I could have done it in my head, to be honest. That's kind of 34, and then take the square root of that. Okay, so 5.83, that should be enough. Of this, there's a factor 10 I haven't considered, like 58. 58.3. I mean, I'm winging it completely. Oh no, okay, yeah. No, that's good. Right, so well, this is now fine. Let's make that maybe size 2. So I've covered the first kind of diagonal half. What I would like to do is kind of do them both in one go, right? So I've got my turtle here and pointing 30, the magic 30, 96 degree, and ready to draw the calculation to make that one. What I'm going to want to do is size step by 3 times the size. You know what? This is where I'm going to do like a def L side step is something by distance D is something that's going to take and is going to left 90. This is the left side step, and I'm going to do also a right side step. That's T obviously, right? Right, and this is right, then T dot left. Okay, so before here, I'm going to left side, whatever I call it, L side step by 3 multiplied by size. And now I can do this rectangle that is still equally long, but is now 6 by sides. And I've got the whole full diagonal. Now, just going to go and do that at from the other side. So I'm going to, this is where kind of a context manager essentially would be, if there's any viewers that are already at that level, we just want to kind of turn the turtle back by the same amount because otherwise it's going to be confusing. And now I still got the turtle in the top left square pointing east. Cool. So let's actually put that in the right place, obviously. That's the rectangle or diagonal. First one. The second one, let's go to the other end. So t dot forward by 50 times s to get to the top right corner, and we're going to do 180. And then I'm going to tilt left by the magic 3096. And this is where I could obviously abstract that away into a little something or a loop or whatever, but side step by 3. That should be symmetrical, right? I've got that right. Left by, okay, we go left by 180, and then we go left again by 3096. We sidestep. We're going to want to right sidestep. That's why I've defined it, right? It makes sense. Everything is mirrored, right? So we'll tilt it to the left. And just to be kind of return things as we find them, to the right, by 30.96. Now top right pointing west. I thought I put an HT, by the way. What happened to my hide turtle? Okay, yeah, no, I've missed it. Oh, I messed it up. That. Let's do that again. Towards the blue background. I am here. Then I am here. It's doing this rectangle. It's done left, it's done forward 50, it's done 180, it goes there. Oh, hold on, because I'm drawing rectangles from the top left corner. I want to actually sidestep right again. This is what I've done. No, sidestep left again. Yeah. So that part is actually a rotation. It's not a mirror, which is fair, right? Because the flag itself is based on rotation. That's why it's not actually symmetrical top to bottom, which is why sometimes it could be mounted upside down. Ironically, by the kind of people who care a lot about the Union Jack. Ah, it turns out my little clever 58 is too short. Not mad about this. What's going on here? Ah, no, it should return me in the same place because that's always the same deal. Let's do it by 3 and see how we fare. It's doing a lot of rotating. Yeah, there's something broken here. So I've sidestepped by too much. What's happening? Okay, so it's forward is left by 180. So it's now facing east, and I turn left by 1396. Then I left sidestep. No, I should right sidestep. If I left sidestep because I start from top left corner, yeah. Left sidestep to the left, forward, and to the right, which, but I'm using the right sidestep. No, which, yeah, I didn't lie when I said it was the final boss. It's all about this kind of relative orientation to the. It's just actually a really good kind of orienteering skill that, like I know that the year 10 with whom class, like a lot of the year 10 in my class, and we did that kind of stuff on Friday. We didn't get to do the way to Union Jack. We did the Greek flag pretty well. Some of them are the Duke of Edinburgh expedition, so hence kind of, yeah, there's some orienteering skill here as well. What's the problem with this? Run it again and look at it this time. Okay, it was the thing. He's done the kind of twig and sidestep, and it's with that diagonal correctly. It goes there. It's the way it's returned it, because it returns in the right place, in the wrong place. It returns it at the sidestep. Okay, so I need to right sidestep. Yeah, just so I kind of there's a kind of like stack phenomenon, right? I'm kind of canceling. Yes. Here and same deal, right? I'm gonna need to right side step. We're back on track by 3 times S. There, find it. Right, because I want to be returned top right pointing west. Yeah, that's why now we along this as we kind of turn. We have the correct side step in the mount. We have the white diagonals. Bang! Red diagonals. Now this is the tricky part because actually there's 4 of them, but there are a strip that's too wide, and if we make it go whatever is this, right? Like they can't be more than. Okay, let's say 25. Yeah, let's say 25, right? 25 times the size to go inside. And that top left corner is actually conveniently always at the corner itself. So I don't need to sidestep, just need to go and draw them in each corner, provided I start in the right place, just with the right orientation. I've got this. No, I'm totally confident here. So red diagonals. I am in the top right pointing west. Let's do it. Top right pointing west, and that's exactly the place I want to be. So I just need to tilt by 30, draw it. That's going to return me here, and then tilt back. Right. To the left for this time, right? Because it's, yeah, you know what? I'm just going to start. Okay, so the blue, I needed this as well because they're precious. The red, sorry, it's 207, 20, 43. Is it a railway? 207, 20, 43. Oh, it's a just okay. You can't. I mean, like I said, you can find a lot of faults to the symbol, but you can't argue with the design. What did I say? 25 times S, and this one is a strip that's like 2. Yes, because it's no. Yeah, it's 2. It's too wide. It's 2 times S wide. And I'm just gonna kind of like return the turtle in the right place, right? Check this out. This is annoyingly slow. Mm, it overspills, but that doesn't matter. That's going to get hidden by the. It kind of well, that's fine because it's going to be hidden by the central cost. But I reckon like when I say 25 might be a bit much. Oh, I said 35. I wanted 25. That's why. Okay, so I've got this and I've returned it like that, so I can repeat that. I just gotta kind of get this right. But if I let's essentially do it in the corner, go by the length of the flag, turn 180. No, because then you turn to the right. Wait, no, because like I want to be in. Hit it to the left, and then yeah, that's gonna need to kind of. Well, I can't really. Well, I'm not gonna do a loop. I'm just gonna go by diagonal. So it's T forward. This is again the whole width is 50 times the size. Then we T left 180. I am top left pointing here, so I'm just in the right place to do a right this time. So draw a red rectangle, return it to the left so it's neat. You know what? Do I have this on this computer? Yeah, okay. I've got like my paste history, so there's a left somewhere, right? This like this guy. Okay, cool. We're not got the right cross line. This should give me the second one. Let's just check. And then I'm pointing because I've gone right, then left. So I'm pointing. So top left pointing east, which is kind of where I started. I'm going to 90 length. Sorry, height. I'm happy with that. Yeah, I can live with that. Forward, so that's 30 for the height of the flag, 30 ms, and then return it pointing. Well, we want to point alongside the horizontal because the 30 is vis-a-vis the horizontal. So I was kind of here, right. No, after here, turn right, I turn left again. And now it's leftward. Yeah, so now I've got this. That's cool, right? So I could have something where it's that should work. It might just work because it's like a rectangular thing, right? In that like it's not the same thing 4 times, but it's the same thing 2 times. So once I have, oh man, this is gonna be if this works, this is gonna slap. This is gonna be Riz Giat Skibidi Toilet. I really hope that they catch it on the. I might just like give them the exact timestamp where I utter those Gen Alpha curses. Come on, little turtle, you can do it. What's the tune for? I mean, that looks pretty nifty, I gotta say. You know what? I'm just gonna make it one. I'm just gonna make a smaller one, which like should be quicker in theory, but more importantly, will allow me to verify that I've not like accidentally put a number that's not relative to the size and doesn't scale along. But I kind of dig the red diagonals, I think, are done. So the white cross. That's that's just, you know, if I had a good, if I had a draw rectangle that would just allow me to access stuff by coordinate, that would be so much simpler, but never mind, I don't have it, so let's do it. Okay, it works as a small one. So going to want to have a white rectangle at, okay, there's 15 on each half, and this is 3 and 2, so like at 10 in, right? Like a 10 the size down, white rectangle, cool. This would have returned me, it's done it like this. Oh, it's returned me where I started, yeah, so kind of like, well, no, I can work with this. Left by 90, forward by, I did just say 10 times the S. No, because I want to be on the other side. So 20 times the S, and then we're going to go to the right. Yeah, it's always kind of mirror to the first one. And then now I'm here, I'm ready to draw a white rectangle. So that's just like plain white. Thankfully, there's no kind of like special white. And this one's going to be the whole length, which is 50 times the size. And like the total thing of the rectangle is, if I remember correctly, 6 plus 4. Yeah, that's 10 in the middle, right? It's like a third of the flag. Yeah. Nice proportion wise, right? Kind of like rules of threes, etc. There's a lot of, again, the design is absolutely impeccable. Yes. Oh. I have. There used to be a time I kind of wanted to have a guitar reunion flag on it, but unfortunately, oh no, I don't know where this is 60. 50s and a third, so 10, so like a third of the height. That should kind of work. Let's be more confident in this. Scratch. Yeah, it's gonna take forever now. Oops. So that's gonna leave the turtle in the middle at the bottom, kind of like right corner of the first white rectangle of the cross flag of the the white cross. To get the other one, I'm just gonna, at this stage, I'm gonna go right. I'm just gonna go along the edge because I know. Well, no, I don't need to. I want to go forward by. So here, right? I want to go from basically here to here, or indeed more like here to here, but it doesn't really matter. But like this forward by. This is 10 as well, interestingly, right? So like there's gonna be. Which means that this is 20. Yes, 28 makes sense, I think. Yes, because those are 2 by, yeah, okay. Those are like 2 by 1 aspect ratio, but it's overall 3. That's, yeah. So 20? No, because I want to be on that side, right? So like 20 and 10, 30, and right, take a right, and yeah, 20. Okay, so T forward by. I just said it. It's 20 and 10, it's 30 times S. Oh, it looks like it's always the same. Yeah, okay, 30 times S. And then I'm going to turn right. I'm going to go forward by 20 times S because that takes me back to the top. Sorry. It's going to race against the clock, right? Because it's like, I like to kind of keep this under an hour, but this is where we are. I'm in the right place, but this is, sorry, it's a right by 90, but not pointing in the right direction, so I need a right by 90 again. Oh no, and then I've not actually done the thing. So let's draw a rectangle, and this time it's going to be 10 along and 30 across. Run this again. What's my current size? Let's make that as maybe 2. I should have stopped at the St. Andrews, but like it just wanted to get to those diagonals and the kind of niftily abstracted away by just looping the thing in a couple of times. Then I get my splotch, and we're kind of nearly there. We are almost home free. It's going to look better, right? Because I'm just going to cut the edges. Don't worry about the overspill. But that's excellent. The red cross. So I'm in a very convenient place for the red cross. I just need to go forward by 2 times the size and then draw it. Uh, a rectangle. This is the red that we have used. It is the not the 00, it's this one. Hash hex code. The dimensions of the cross are 6 wide. Yeah, 6 wide, and it's going to be the whole flag, so 30 tall. That leaves me at the top left, and I just want to kind of get to pointing here. So like right. Okay, right 90, forward 10, right 90, forward 20, and then 180. Forward 20 times S, and then right 180. Doesn't really matter if you 180 left or right. Oh, whoa. Oh yeah, all of that stuff should be T dot, obviously. Yeah. Okay, I need to put the message. Okay, all right. So now I chose the blue background. It's so slow. Nope. So I'm just gonna set the speed to 0, turn off emission as fast as possible. This is weird, it doesn't seem to work here. But is it in T dot speed? Oh yeah, it's T dot speed. So all of those are actually done with the turtle instance. That makes more sense. Maybe we're kind of deliberately slowing it down. I will be absolutely gutted. Yeah, it's not like I have to spend time waiting for my drawing, but you know what? Let's do it again then. Yeah. Oh, super. This is like speed 0 what I wanted. Sure. I've got the problem because I'm hiding. Oh, then I'm hiding T. Sorry. Then slash stack. Oh yeah, so much quick, so much better. Let's make that a 3. Yes. Cool. And I'm in the right place? No, I'm not in the right place. I need to sidestep to the right by 2 times the size. I'm glad I've got this little procedure done already. And sidestepping it, and then I'm going to do this kind of rectangle again, but this time it's going to be 50 along and 6 across. And this returns me over here. I'm just going to go like to the top left corner again. Well, let's kind of worry. Let's just kind of run this while I'm doing the frame. I'm going to... Oh, oh no. Oh, have I not gone forward? Oh, this is annoying. I was overconfident. Got a bit cocky there. Okay, so this one was fine, and then I take a right. What am I doing? So this returns me to this top left corner. I take a right. I go forward by 10, presumably I'm hoping to be there. Is that 10? That looks like a 10. I can believe it's a 10 out of 30. Is that a third? No, that's 10. Ah, that's the problem. That's the problem. So I should actually go by 12? Right forward 20. Let's forget about this. Forget about that. I don't like this at all. Okay, what if I went 12? So here I need more than 20. I think it's 22 presumably, right? Kind of like because there's the gap. I was forgetting about the white space for the white. Yay! Cool. And then to frame it, let's return my turtle left 90. Forward. I'm not even using go to, right? Like it's all relative to whatever position and orientation you started at, because then I can kind of like start making crazy. Okay, forward by, this is 12. 12, not 10, right? We get it. Times S. I want to make sure I've got the times S everywhere, otherwise it's going to look, it's not going to, I mean, I'm doing size 2, so 3, so I should be able to detect it. It's going to leave me here. I want a 180. And then twice, I am going to draw a black rectangle, which simply black, right? Not going to mess about. Along, it's a 30 length, and it's just, it doesn't really matter. Well, I could make it very narrow, maybe. Oh, sorry, it's 30 times S length with a kind of, to look nice. Maybe just 1 times S? No, 2 times S. Width, and so that's, sorry, it needs a colon here. This needs to be indented, hopefully correctly. Then we draw this rectangle, then we move forward by T forward by the length, the height of the flag, which is 30 times S. This tips us in the bottom left corner, and we want to turn left by 90. Then draw a black rectangle that is this time 50 and 2. So 50. If I'm gonna decide to not, like, maybe I don't need all of the spaces, right? It's nicer because it's as a factor, 2 times S, 50 times S. Do this rectangle and then go forward again by this time the longer side of the flag, which gonna now is putting me here. And in order to do the exact same thing and point in the right place, I need to go to the left by 90. And so again, I'm only doing this twice, which means it's doing the same thing twice. Oh, it's not masked it like quite well enough at that corner because I'm starting a bit too far back. So let's move back by 2 times S, right? So backward. Let's move back before I do it. And then make a little bit longer. Actually, I'm going to need to make that a lot longer. And okay, this is gonna be fiddly. If I do just in this, now I'm gonna need to move back here, right? Then I kind of move it back. I make that 54, but like only go by 52 here, and all right. So I just need to hide T again, and we have the magic iterative construction of the Union flag. Now, there's not like there's a bit of abstraction that we knew already from kind of like having just the size, and you can, because it will draw it from wherever you're pointing, wherever the turtle is located. When you do it, you just pass the size. We can start doing this stuff, which is, let's make that, well, again, 6 of them, right? But where does it return? Where does it return the turtle? That's important. No, because it's going to return it here. Okay, maybe I can't hide it just yet, and just don't need that just yet. Let's just kind of check where it returns it. It does a 90. I don't like this. Then we just need at the very end of this to go right by 90. I think we're in the right place broadly, but that's. Yeah, whatever. So now if I put this inside the loop, let's just hide it again. Put this inside the loop where I draw a free wide UK and then go right, say, by 60 degrees. I'm going to have the first one and T right 60. And the second one. Oh, this is a problem. I think, did I put an extra? Yes, I've put an extra king because I'm going right. That's not, I wanted to, oh, I want to go left, right? Like I've just completely, yeah. Yeah. So that's why it turns my 16 to 30 because it's subtracting 90. You get it. And this is, yeah, this is what the thing I was kind of like trying to go for. And then you can have another one on top where it kind of like draws a set of smaller ones. Let's go full, like, it's the crowning of King Charles, so kind of full bunting, etc. Okay, well, that was it. That was a solid hour, fun time, Python Turtle, where we've kind of gone through ultimate layers of abstraction and finally tackled the final boss. I hadn't rehearsed, right? Like this was as live as it comes, and I'm quite happy I managed to go through. So there are challenges. And it's mainly about kind of like a lot of this is kind of about keeping track of where the turtle is pointing and where it is. And but this is much as if you wanted to draw this in processing where you simply use a coordinate system for the canvas, this would be much harder, well, a bit harder, because something like the diagonal, like to know exactly, okay, when the flag specification is expressed like this is 2 of whatever 50 is, you kind of tell the turtle you're fine. But if you're doing as a canvas, like the location of this distance between this and that, you're gonna need to use trigonometry because you need to figure out like a cosine or like this is probably a cos of vis-a-vis that 30, 96 and so on. So actually doing it in sort of relative coordinates, where it's a turtle from the top and you're kind of moving and you're pointing in some directions, then oh, that's sorry, what am I doing here? This is 6. This is 6. Yeah, it's not gonna always gonna go like 50 flags before moving to the next one. Um, yeah, it's a good project, but the value of this is more into kind of you organize the code. There's comments. Okay, this was kind of like for my own reference, but just the fact that like the block of codes are logical, right? So that's the first diagonal. Then I kind of do there's a motion of the turtle, and then the second diagonal, the red diagonals are like nicely segmented. You don't need to put comments everywhere, but like this makes it clear that the 4 blocks are doing kind of, one side move to get to the next one, the other one move to get to the next one, and you repeat that twice. The white cross, nah, it's not as nice, the white cross. I started to kind of get a bit faster there. Um, yeah, you get to the kind of correct corner and then draw it, and then this is more like this. Then you get to the correct corner and draw it. The red cross, same deal, right? Kind of get to the correct corner, get to the corner, and draw it. But yeah, it gives you that, and then you can even. Oh no, that's already a one. Can I? This should. Okay, this is experimental at this stage, but I'm pretty sure that Turtle should accept. We'll find out. We'll find out. Should accept floats rather than integers in their sizes. I should have started. I should. This is gonna take forever now. Maybe make like 2.5 just to see. Does it crash now? No, it doesn't. Okay, so that's good. So they will know that. Yeah, and it works on any scale. Unfortunately, it doesn't go faster than that. So it's going to do 6 of those, but like each thing is made of, kind of like technically depends how you decompose it. But you get background, the white diagonals, which arguably is 2 things, the red diagonals, which is 4 things, and then the white cross, which is 2 things, then the red cross, which is 4 things, and then the frame, which is 4 things or like twice 2 things, etc., etc. And yeah, I can go even smaller. The point is the third one is going to be a 0.5 to see, and it doesn't. Because we're at speed of 0, like this is just the actual time it takes. Like they don't take shorter because they're smaller, because it's not like the turtle has to travel. Like the travel time doesn't count essentially what speed 0 means, but it still kind of like does it in bits. So yeah, here's our kind of like. Now, if you add, okay, yeah, this is fun. Let's go right by 15 here, and then we can go right by 15 again, just to kind of like tell them a little bit. But again, I'm just going to kind of need to keep talking and filling in the dead air as my first set of 6 2.5 size flags. No, I'm really happy with that. Okay. Flags of the world for the follow-up. Like, it's going to have to be next week. I'm gonna be honest, but like, yeah, no. The US flag or anything with a star, you would have a procedure for the star. The Australian one, I think, is that Australia? Okay, we know the Union Jack, we know how to do it. Wow, how many? Is it like a 7-pointed? Wow, is this New Zealand? I'm not very good with those. That's an interesting one. That would be a good start. I would start with those and then kind of like move on, because once you get the procedures for the stars, you can start moving on with the US one. Stuff with the circle is interesting. This has kind of like this is Jamaica. This is like that's the diagonal of the Union Jack. This, forget about it. Like I'm not doing a shit coat of arm here. Same deal with the maple. I mean, this is we're getting into the weeds. But if you can like define, mind you, there's probably a Canadian flag specification that's got the maple leaf design with like numbers and exact proportions. Okay, so if in the comments you say, tell me, oh, it's done like this, that's interesting. Well, that's good because then there's sort of like little diagonals. So this would actually be better suited to a processing. No, actually, that would work. That would work. I can live there. That would be probably better suited to a processing type sketch because then you get a simple, a straightforward coordinate system. Um, Still, though, I mean, we could totally none of get like those. We know of those dimensions. You could totally like steal the design of the official Canadian maple leaf because they're nice like that. Anyway, so with my now, is this still running or just like it suspends execution if I'm looking away? And now they're slightly off axis. It's not as obvious. Well, I need to kind of build all three so we can see it, but they not lined up like the inner circles are not as lined up as the outer circles. Um, and of course, if I could even have made that like I'm correct, maybe 12 of the very small ones. Or you could do something with a loop where you kind of like paint them just and as a kind of like background pattern with a tiling. It's like the possibilities are endless, and so I will leave it there. But my Draw UK, it's quite big. Not going to lie. We could have stuff like about drawing crosses, right? If we had kind of a cross procedure, that would be pretty good. Um, in fact, if we could do crosses, no, because those like the diagonals are not at a 90-degree angle, so we couldn't reuse the same one. But the diagonal one would be useful because the diagonal one will come, could be in something like the Jamaica. So the true abstraction and true decomposition would be something like what kind of sets of procedures do you write so that it's as simple as possible to do as many flags as possible. Because if we get things like draw a cross according to those parameters, or draw diagonals of that rectangle, then I can do Jamaica like as easily, and the Union flag and the UK, whatever we use diagonal. Same deal when you get a star, and etc. A circle would be useful because you can do this Japan, and there's a bunch more that look like that. The crescent, that's gonna be an interesting one. Oh no, I don't want don't want that. Oh, this is Nepal, I think, with like the no Nepal might be the weird triangles, but I think this is a you know, traditional weapon. I'm just going to end the stream here. I think we're done. Um, okay, tune in next time for oh, when change still because a success. Next, South Africa. What's South Africa? Okay, so yeah. Oh, that's the one I thought was Jamaica. Or is it the Y shape? Yeah. Yes, I think it's the one with the yes. So this is interesting because then you're kind of dealing with angles. Um, and kind of red rectangle top, uh, green rectangle thing, a black rectangle in that corner just to kind of make it work. You'd have to kind of work out so it doesn't spill on the others. And then I gotta say that Y shape is gonna be spicy. Well, that may be one for next week. So until next time, happy coding. Wink. Yes, the stream will stop immediately and I want to end it.